What's up, guys? This is Ronnie. Welcome back to our channel Total Technology. So this is going to be a new series or new uh, playlist I'm gonna start, and hopefully all of you are familiar with this thing from the title itself. I'm not saying that all of you are familiar with Apache Airflow, but I got so many requests a couple of in last couple of months that I should create something on Apache Airflow with Python and other stuff. So guys, I was really very busy for last 2-3 months, so that is why I was not uploading videos regularly, because I was actually learning a few new things, mostly on the smart contract and solidity. So hopefully that will be a different topic altogether, but I'll be come up with something on that aspect as well. But as of now, let's talk about Apache Airflow. So as I got so many requests, I kind of thought of creating a playlist. But before I do a playlist, I need to do some sort of research. I have to do some sort of homework. I need to design this concept playlist, and other than like how am I gonna like deliver this training. So for doing all those things, I actually took probably 1 month. 1 month or maybe more than 1 month time, and but now the playlist and the tutorials are ready, and hopefully every week or every alternative days you guys will get 1 or 2 videos on Apache Airflow. Okay, and probably I'm also planning to do some sort of integration like with different AWS and other stuff with Airflow as well. Okay, so first thing first, this tutorial will be going to be introduction, kind of installation, and then probably we'll do some sort of like very simple Python coding to interact with Apache Airflow. Okay, so let me go ahead to the next slide. So that is this second slide. So what is Apache Airflow? So Apache Airflow or Airflow is a platform created by the community to programmatically author, schedule, and monitor workflow. So basically it was developed and maintained initially by Airbnb, and after that they handed over this thing to Apache open source. So that is why it is now Apache kind of, sorry, it's open source. So if you want to know detail about this Apache workflow, Apache Airflow, then probably this link will be the best thing. But as I told you, this is going to be, or my all my tutorials are going to be more or less hands-on driven. So I'm not going to discuss about any theoretical concept over here. But again, uh, just let me uh, open this thing in one of the browser. Maybe hopefully that will be a best thing. Okay, so Apache Airflow is a platform created by community to programmatically author, schedule, and monitor workflow. So, for example, uh, you created a workflow. For example, let's say you created a workflow which will go and check the file, and if file is ready, this will read the file one by one, and after that, I mean the file row one by one, and after that, it will create a like um, insert the data inside the table. This is a workflow. So there are three tasks. Like first, it will go and find for the file. If file is available, it will start reading the file. I mean every rows from the file one by one, and for every one row it will insert the data inside a table in the database. But if you think that one of the steps are, again, if failed, then you do not know like what will happen and how to monitor and which step it is going to be failed. You do not have anything like to complete or to perform all this stuff like in a systematic or more efficient way. So that is why we have this Apache workflow. I know I am giving a very kind of weird kind of a definition or explanation, but as I know, like these things are available in the internet or in the Airflow website, so you guys will be able to get the details about Airflow. And I'm expecting that if you guys are saying that try to do something on Apache Airflow, so I believe most of you are already familiar with the concept of Apache Airflow. What is that, or why it is being used or widely being used? So I'm not going to do all those details or theoretical part here, but rather than you guys can go ahead and do this theoretical concept from here. But sorry, but in my tutorial it will be more or less with the Python and coding and installation and configuration. So we'll do it now. Okay, so guys, please watch out for this link so that it will be, you guys will get more ideas, and it is always a good practice to do some sort of reading from the official community page and other stuff. So when you get some free time, so I'll highly recommend you guys to do some sort of reading from this link. You will get some more ideas. But again, if you just follow along with my tutorial, you will be able to understand the installation and configuration as well. So installation step, again, I'll be going to use Docker container, and which is basically from the Docker hub of the Apache workflow. So let me just copy this thing, and after that Maybe I can just go ahead here. So let's see. Okay, so this is saying how to run Apache Airflow. So I'm just going to do that. So we'll be going to use a Docker Compose YAML for doing this thing. So first thing first, to deploy Airflow, you should fetch this Docker Compose YAML. So let me copy this thing. So for that, actually I have created one like okay, this is not this thing. Very small. Okay, this is uh, this is the main thing. So like my terminal. So now I'll be going to show you how to do the installation. Okay, so let me just do something. ls minus l, so I will be documents ls minus l. So hopefully I have something called Apache Airflow. So maybe I don't know. Okay, it's not here, so probably it will be inside GitHub probably. Okay, so let me search it. Cd here, so Airflow tutorial ls minus l. So I have something this folder, so let me go ahead with this thing. Okay, so what I did, so I created a folder called Airflow tutorial Python. So inside that I'll be going to deploy all my stuff. So first of all I need to download this YAML to deploy Airflow Docker. So just follow along with me, you guys will be able to understand. Okay, so what I'll do, I just copy paste this thing. Okay, let me make it a bit bigger. Okay, fine. So let's download this thing. So download it completed, download completed. So see, it's there. So I have already opened a Visual Studio as well. So if you see here, so see, I already opened that folder using Visual Studio Code. So I have just downloaded this YAML file. This is the PPT. So I'll be going to upload this thing into the GitHub repo. So that is why everything is here. You guys will be able to see the PowerPoint slide as well. And probably I'll go and write some sort of coding here. But before doing that, so we'll be going to install our Apache Airflow using Docker container. So I don't know this thing. So now it is saying that this is the volume we need to mount. For example, your local machine folder will be mounted into the Docker. Okay, so for doing that there are some steps actually. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just go and create all these steps. Okay, so I'll be going to create some extra file as well here. So maybe let me tell you, so why I need this thing, let me tell you. Let me open this Docker. Okay, so if you see here, here is my volumes. Okay, DAX means all my workflows will be available in this folder in my local. Means I'll be going to write my Python code inside this DAC folder so that it will be available in the Docker in this folder. Means my local folder or local directory, this will be mounted in the Docker in this path. Okay, logs will be logged so that whatever is happening in the Docker, I'll be get. So it will be in sync, right? Something is happening in the Docker because my Airflow is running in the Docker, so I'll get that thing in my local machine and plugin and other stuff. For suppose you want to install something in the plugin, you will download from the internet, you'll place in this folder, which is again available in your local, and it will automatically available inside the Docker container. So here I need some extra file as well. Okay, why I need this thing, I will tell you guys later. So I don't know what I did, something wrong maybe. Yes, I did something wrong. Yes, so maybe let me create something dot. So input files. So maybe uh, I can do it later, but it is the right way of doing it right now. So I have created a folder called input files volume. I have created a volume input files, and that will be actually available in my Docker input files for doing something. Okay, and the same thing, maybe I can copy the whole thing. Okay, and here maybe I can write. So let me just give a name to output. Okay, so it will be output files, and let me just give a name as output files. Okay, so now I have to create all these 5 folder inside here. Okay, so for that I have already have a command. Okay, so mkdir this. So but I need something extra as well. So dot slash input underscore files. Okay, then dot slash output underscore files. So I'm just creating this folder, dags logs plugins input files. So I have to 1 2 3 4 5. See, I have total 5 folders or 5 directories, and that will be mounted in the Docker container. 1 2 3 4 5. So all will be created now. Okay, so let me Okay, all are created. If you see here, I got everything. See, DAGs input file, logs, output, plugin, all are created here. So I'll be going to create my DAG workflow over here. What is DAG? It is directed acyclic graphs. Okay, so means every workflow inside a Airflow, workflow inside in the okay, let me rephrase in a different way. Every workflow inside Airflow platform can be denoted as a DAGs. DAGs mean directed acyclic graph. So it means you can only traverse in a single direction, not the bidirectional. Like once you reach the end point or end of this workflow, you should not go back again. Okay, so that is why it is acyclic, and all these theoretical stuffs are available in the inner documentation. I'm not going to do all this stuff here because all of you are familiar with this thing. Okay, so this is done. So next step will be we have to create this thing. Okay, so what is my this thing? Okay, so just follow along with this thing. Hopefully after watching this video, if you follow along with this thing, it will be done. Okay, so all these things are done, all these things are done. So now what I have to do, I have to run this thing and my Airflow will be available. So it will be available in the port 8080. Okay, so so it will be available in the localhost 8080. Okay, so let me just, so see, it is not running. Okay, so it means Airflow is not there. Okay, so let me just uh, create everything is here. So docker compose up. Okay, so what will happen, it will read this compose docker compose file, and it will start creating all this stuff whatever is written here. Okay, so we can see it, and even I believe this is my docker dashboard, and right now it has nothing, I believe. Okay, let me open this thing. So right now none of the containers are running, so once everything is fine, we'll also able to see it here. Okay, so let me just minimize this thing. This is a docker desktop. Okay, so let me minimize this as well, and let me hit this thing. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so just it. So see, something is started happening. Okay, so whatever is written in the docker compose yaml, something that is running. So we'll discuss this docker compose yaml file later, maybe once we start doing the intermediate or advanced tutorial that time. So whatever we written here, because if you see here, we need for running this thing, we need so many things. We need Postgres, we need Redis means for salary like scheduler, that is what we need web server. Okay, so its server is actually will be going to up on this port, means 8080, and after that there are so many things are happening. So these things are going to happen. See, salary worker is required. So yeah, so that is happening. Okay, so I'm not going to do all this thing in the detail because it will be very difficult or complex at this moment. So that right now our main job is to install, configure, and after that I want you guys to give the look and feel of a workflow, sorry, Airflow, so that you guys can do and create something workflow. So that will actually encourage and motivate all of you guys to do something else. If I just go ahead and start implementing or explaining this docker compose YAML file, that will not be a good thing, because ultimately when you go and start working in some project, so ultimately you will be able to understand the docker compose.yaml file, because docker compose YAML file is important, but not that much important at this moment. Our main goal is to understand how Airflow works, and how to create your own workflow with Python, with the help of Python. Okay, so let's see. So something is happening. So if I again open this thing, so it's see images. So see, Postgres and Redis is happening. So see, it is now doing this. After that, we'll get this thing. Apache Airflow, Airflow also will be here. Out now, I believe it is downloading Airflow. So we'll get something else here. Okay, that Airflow, the name of Airflow as well. Okay, once this is done. Okay, so yeah, see, Airflow is here. So tree is completed. Now it is creating like all volumes probably. Yes, I believe. So just doing some internal stuff, whatever is written in the compose file. So it is running. See, it is running. Okay. So Redis is running, Postgres is running, and Airflow is running. So now it will spin up the web server on port 880, I believe. Okay. So let's wait for some time. So once web server is ready, we'll be able to access this thing. See, it is not ready. So once web server is ready, we'll be able to access it on 8080. Okay. Okay, where is my terminal? I believe this one, yes. So this will take some time. Okay. So let's see how long this will take. Yeah, see. Okay, so web server, where is web server? Still web server is not ready, I believe. So let's wait for some. Okay, I don't know why this is. Okay, so still web server is not ready. Okay, I'm just waiting for the web server. Now salary is executing. Yeah, I believe web server is now started. Yes. So where is web server? It will be on port 8080. I believe this is the web server. Yes, it's running. See? Okay. So if I'm not wrong, I believe. Okay. So yeah, it's running. Okay. So let's try this thing now, executing. Okay, so it's running. So now it is asking for some user ID and password. So that we'll get from the Docker Compose YAML. So at least I can tell you guys this thing. So probably if you go below, there is if you go below, there is something called yes. So it is here. So in the environment, this is the username Airflow, password is Airflow. So I'm just giving you a very quick thing. So generally in production level deployment, we should not hard code everything on your Docker Compose file. So probably you can create a kube secret, and from the kube secret, this should be passed. So nothing will be exposed in the Docker Compose YAML file, because ultimately you need to upload or git send this to the GitHub. So that is why. Okay. But again, if you do some sort of git ignore and you are not publishing it to dockercompose.yaml, then that is definitely fine. But it's always best practice to put everything to Docker, sorry, in kube secret. But this is not the DevOps tutorial at this moment, so we can discuss things in the later part. Okay. So if I do Airflow and Airflow, so this is a test, so nothing is here. Okay. So nothing is active. Okay. So let me just go ahead and let you guys show something. So see, this is my logs. Some logs are here. See, it's created. Input files is missing. Sorry, input. There is no input file. There is no output file, and DAX folder is missing. So I'll be going to do the same thing from here so that you guys will be able to understand. So let me open the CLI of my this thing. So okay, so let me do a pwd. So here I am here. So here actually I have created a file called this. Okay, see dags is created, input file is created, logs is created. So 1 2 3 4 5. See, all files are created here. So now I'll be going to create my Python code here, so which is actually basically my DAX or workflow, and we'll be able to see it here as well. Okay, so this is bidirectional sync. Okay, so now I'll go and start writing the code, and code will be written here. Okay, so let me create a code, and maybe I can write in the test workflow dot py. Okay, okay, so first thing first, you have to install Apache Workflow using pip installer. Okay, so I have already installed this thing, so that is why I haven't installing that thing. But in your case, you have to do that. Okay, so I'll be going to what do you say? Go ahead and write down the code immediately. Okay, so let me just write this thing. Maybe. Okay, right. So from Airflow import DAG. Okay, so how am I actually writing this thing? Because I have already familiar with this documentation, so that is why I will be able to know all these things. So I will highly recommend you guys to go to internet, search with Airflow, Apache Airflow, PyPy, then you'll be able to understand. So what I'll do, let me just add this thing. Okay, not here. Install Apache Python re from py and read documentation. Okay, so you'll be able to understand what is happening. Okay, so this is done. Then probably tag is there, so maybe there are so many things are also going to be required. Okay, so let's first create my first workflow or first DAG. Okay, so with DAG, so in DAG, so see, I need some parameter. So we need to do that. So first we need DAG ID. Okay, DAG ID is going to be unique. Okay, so that unique ID will be seen here. This all these things. See, ID means nothing about this name actually. Okay, so that should be unique within the platform. You cannot have like two workflow with the same name. So that is always unique. So DAG ID is unique within the platform. That remember, you have to remember this thing. So it should be DAG ID. So maybe I can write test workflow. This is advisable to use this workflow and this Python file same name, but again you can make different, but your workflow name which will be visible in the UI always going to take this name. But some cases I saw there is some problem or conflict if you do not give this file name and this file name together. Okay, so that is why we always advise to use this thing. Okay, 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 fine. And after that, maybe we need to give something like start date. Okay, so start date will be using date time. So now we'll be going to write from date time import date time. Okay, so it should be date time, and probably I can write today's date, so it should be first year, so it should be 2022. Then probably month is 2, and maybe date is 7th February. Okay, this is done. So I believe now I have to another mandatory parameter, that is a schedule interval. So should be schedule interval, and it should be daily. So all these things are actually available in the documentation. Okay, so now next thing will be default args, and within the default args we need to parse the owner name. So maybe I can create a dictionary. Okay, and it should be like this, and it should be owner, and owner is Airflow, because in my system I have only one user, Airflow, and I have to write this thing here, default. Okay, this default tags is actually this default tags. Okay, so maybe I can, okay, fine. So it is there, everything is fine, default tags is here, and DAG is here, and now I can write as DAG. Okay, so my DAG is ready. Okay, so now workflow should perform a task, like as I told you, in a single workflow you can have multiple tasks. For example, let me just reiterate whatever we discussed at the beginning of this tutorial. You have a workflow which perform 3 tasks. Like first it will go and look for some file. So if file is ready, then, or sorry, file is available, it will read the file. This is the second task. First task is searching for the file, second task is to read the file, third task will be like write back the file data inside a database, into a database table. Okay, so 3 tasks. So workflow, and now comes a task. So task will be unique within like for task we also going to create a task ID. Okay, so task ID will be unique inside a workflow. So this, okay, so now here, so now I'll be going to write a task. Okay, so maybe I can write test function equals to, and this is going to be a operator, I mean what job it is going to run. So for that, uh, from airflow dot operators dot python operator import. Python operator means it is going to perform some Python code. Okay, okay, So this is going to be okay, Python operator. Then maybe here. Okay, so now I'll be going to define a task ID. So task underscore ID, and this is going to, let me just give a same name, this test function. Okay, so let me go and give a name, test underscore function, and I need to give a Python callable, like what does this Python operator right going to perform. Okay, so Python callable, and we'll be going to give a function, like function name. So for that, maybe let's create a function def, just give the same name, just not to confuse, test function. And this is actually going to write a file. Okay, nothing else. Okay, so let me do something. So import IO. So I'll be going to write a file here. Okay, so what I'll do, with IO dot open, now the file name path. So path means I'll be going to write something in the output files. Now my output file is mapped with where, so I need to find, go to volume, let's go to volume. So my output file is mapped here. Okay, so it should be available here, so I have to give the full path. So here, and let me just name test dot txt. So this is a test file I would like to create, and after that w means I would like to open that, w means write mode and encoding. This is simple Python programming just for creating workflow as f1 and a task. I'm just going to create a workflow and a task, like so f1 dot write. So I can write hello from Airflow DAG. Okay, that is what I would like to do, and f1 dot close. So that is my function. Okay, it's all done. So now we're going to call this thing. Okay, so it should be test function. So all done. So what will happen, so this is the workflow. So when this executes, it will actually going to perform this task. This task means this is going to call this Python function, and it will create a file called test.cst in this path. Okay, and it will be written with this hello from DAG. So what will happen, this is actually going to write the file in this path in the Docker container, which is actually in my in here actually, I believe in this path means here. So if I go to cd out put underscore a5les, so if you see I have nothing here, but after I execute this docker compose yaml, so we'll be going to see this thing. Okay, so and the same thing will be available in my local here. In local I have nothing here, so once I execute this thing, it will happen. So now I have created this thing. Okay, so what will happen, so this name, this name will be, see for example, let me open this thing. Now I am not able to see it here. See if I just go and search this thing, uh, uh, test underscore workflow, nothing is here. Okay, so now if I refresh this thing, probably I will be able to see this thing. See, I got some error. Let's see. Okay, see, already got some error test. Okay, so DAG, with DAG DA, so something is wrong here. Okay, so let's see what mistake I have did. DAG with DAG ID equal to this, start this. So I'm not sure what I did. So let me refresh this thing probably. Okay, so error is gone. Okay, so now I'll be able to see that. Okay, so if I go below, you search for test workflow. Yes, it's here, but it is not activated. So let me activate this thing. Okay, so I'll go here, and you can able to see everything from here, I believe. See, you can see everything here. Okay, if you see this thing in our continuous, in our terminal, we are getting all these things. Okay, continuously. Okay, so I got this thing, so it is this, so it is never executed. So what I'll do, I'll just run this thing. I'll be able to see what is happening here now. Okay, so before do that, again let me just do this thing ls minus l, no file is here, so ultimately my workflow is going to run the task and the task will going to create a file and file will be written with a hello world. So let's execute our workflow. Trigger DAG. Okay, so see, it's running. So if I refresh this thing, so yeah, it's success already. So let me click on this thing. So I said this is a DAG ID and this is run ID. So let me click on this thing, and after that let me just go ahead and click on the log. Where is my log? So let me click on this thing and let me go ahead and click on the log. Okay, so let's see the log now. Okay, so whether I'm able to get the success. Okay, so yeah, return value is success, so everything is fine, the Python code executed and everything is success. Okay, so now let me just bit a minimize of this thing and let me go here and do a ls minus l. See, I got a file. Okay, so now I'll check what is the content of the file. Test.txt. See, hello world from DAG. So this is done. So now we'll see if it is here as well or not. So if I go to output folder, see, I got this thing and it is held. So boom. So our final task is completed, or our ultimate objective of this tutorial is has been achieved actually. So our main job was to install Airflow, configure Airflow using Docker Compose file, and after that we have created a simple DAG using Python, and after that we tested this workflow by executing a simple task. Okay, so all these things are completed, right? So so installation steps are done, and the third step was the sample DAG with Python. Okay, sorry. Okay, so sample DAG with Python, and our objective was to create a file from a DAG workflow using Python. So that's all, guys. So let me just save this thing. I believe nothing is required here, or maybe just open this thing. All these things are done. Okay, so maybe I can create tutorial 1. Okay, commit. So I'm doing everything now only so that I should not forget later. So boom, our GitHub repo is ready as well. Okay, okay, so all done. What is happening now? Okay, it is keep on updating the log file, so that is why it is saying, so don't worry about that. So you can ignore always this log files. Okay, so I forgot to put a git ignore for on this logs directory, so there is no point of giving this log directory, but again all the necessary codes are already updated. Okay, so let me just reiterate this thing, guys. So what we actually completed, so we completed the installation of the Airflow, configuration of the Airflow. We have executed or spin up the Docker container using docker compose.yaml, and we have seen how to access this thing. This is the URL. Okay, and one of the important thing is that if you want to stop the container, just like this, and after that probably up, and it should be down, so it will be going to stop. Okay, so stop. So if you again do a refresh, it will not work. So again, if you want to spin up this thing, so you have to just do a up. So this is very simple, guys. So everything will be up and running within a minute. Now it will not take that much time because everything is installed, available in your local machine. So definitely it won't take much time. Probably half a minute or maybe 1 minute, depending on your system memory, RAM, other stuff as well. Okay. Yeah, so this is the installation and configuration. After that we have seen how to check the stuff from the UI, and after that we created a simple Python code. So Python code is basically just to give you guys a look and feel about how the codes work. This is very simple. If you are familiar with the Python, then probably it will be easier for you, but most of you will ask like, how do I know this thing, because guys, I have actually seen the documentation. So operator means whatever your task is going to perform. So that is why operator. There are multiple operator. We'll be going to discuss gradually all of those things in the subsequent videos or tutorials. Okay, but just for the sake of understanding, I just created the simple thing. But in your real world scenario or in the actual project, there could be multiple very complex workflows will be there. Mostly e-commerce, banking, insurance, and mostly in the data streaming pipeline. The workflows are very complex, and that time it will be very challenging and also interesting uh, to develop this sort of workflow using Python. So if you have the Python, you can use the power of Python to develop, customize all this stuff as well. So guys, if you know Python, then it will actually going to open multiple doors for you. See, uh, Airflow is actually widely used in different companies like Google, Facebook, Airbnb. So if you know Python on a single language, then you definitely can apply for a job in any companies. Like that is the power of Python. Okay, so only 2 months of learning and you can land it up to any job or any freelance work. And the learning opportunity is huge. Like now, if you know Python, probably it will take only 3 months of time, or maybe I'm just saying a bit like more time, saying a bit like on the what to say, on the slower side. Like if you are very slow learner, then probably it will take 3 months of time. But if you are very fast learner and you do like proper practice and you are very dedicated, probably it will take only 40 days of time to learn and master Airflow with Python. Okay, so that's a different thing, guys. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this course, because this is only the first tutorial. And I'll going to ask you guys, please do subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, share our video with your family and friends, whoever you think is going to get some help from our video, and try to put some sort of comment, good or bad, doesn't matter. It should be honest actually, so that I can come up next time with some sort of upgraded content, so that it will also going to help you guys and also help me to reach my personal objective, because ultimately YouTube algorithm is going to work on this interaction between the audience and the creator. So as a creator, I'm requesting you guys to after watching this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon, smash the comment button, put some comment or share our videos with your families and friends. So it will help YouTube algorithm to rank our videos, and so that we are also are going to get some extra motivation for all those things. So it is a humble request, guys, please help us from by doing this sort of small help. Okay, so last but not least, don't just watch my videos blindly. After watching my videos, do some sort of reading from the official documentation, and more important thing is that try to do some sort of coding. For example, you can only change this part. Here I'm just creating a file. You can do something. uh, you can have multiple files in the input folder, for example 10 files in the input folders, and your workflow is to copy paste those files from input folder to output folder. This is a simple task, right? My here I created a file with a hello world, sorry, something like that. And maybe you can create your own workflow, and the task will be reading from the input file, copy all the files from in this directory to this directory. This could be also a task, right? Very interesting, challenging. Just give this task, uh, just give a try. Take this task as a homework after completing this video, and come up with this thing. And you guys can always reach out to me via Telegram channel. I generally very active over there. So if you are not finding me or not getting response from my YouTube comments, then it will be always a good idea to join our Telegram channel and ask me a direct question over there. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's it for today. We will see you in the next video. Till then, take care, goodbye, and happy learning.